Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today is March 18, 2024. And today is Monday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, U.S. markets retreat for the first time in a very long time. They're still in an uptrend, but they did retreat. No major economic events scheduled for today. So as we look at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, the major pair is really unchanged. The Turkish Lira makes a turnaround. The question is whether or not it's a significant turnaround and it's going to continue making this change. Now looking at the indices, both the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ did retreat. Looking at commodities, gold retreat and just tapers off just a little bit. Oil holding on to its gains. As we look at the stocks, most of the stocks retreated, specifically Amazon leading the way. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin remains unchanged. So let's take a look at markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. First with the Turkish Lira, it's got a red candle. This is the largest red candle it's had since December. Okay, so keep that in mind, as this is looking like it's making a correctional move. Now, it is hitting the 8-day moving average on a daily, so it may still just bounce off of it. It hasn't breached it. Now, we've breached it before, but we've made a turnaround on the upside once again. So just keep this in mind. I mean, this has really made a tremendous wave since last April of 2023, where we were trading at 19, 18-ish level, and we're now at 32. So almost doubled in the year. With that said, okay, this may have like a turnaround on the upside. This may be just people taking some profits out of it. So keep that in mind looking at the Turkish Lira. Now, the Japanese yen has gotten weaker again. Okay, this may be a turning point for the Japanese yen as it's getting to that 30-day moving average, that blue line on the daily. It may retrace from it, so just keep it in mind. Okay, this is not a trade yet, but it may develop into a trade, so keep that in mind as this is still trading. All right, now looking at gold, it tapered lower, 21.48. Okay, not a big deal, about 50 points away from its high. Now at this level, which way is it going to go? That's a good question. Not sure. Okay, ultimately, what you do want to look at is for it to retrace to 2070 as that to be the next supporters level. However, okay, it may just retrace 50% of this massive spike that it had, so it might go to 2100. So 21 to 2070 should be a supporters level, so keep that in mind. I wouldn't jump into it just yet. It may still have a move on the upside, but I wouldn't jump into it yet. I would wait for that fade to actually happen for me to jump in. Now looking at crude oil, holding on to its gains. Now this has been really strong, $81 a barrel. And this has been really very important because if we break above $81, we could see ourselves to 85 bucks. So $4, a decent move still and something to look forward to. Now looking at the US markets, the Dow Jones did retrace. They're looking at a daily, but it retraced more than 200 points. So with that said, it's a decent retracement, okay, from day to day if we look at the NASDAQ also. But keep an eye on this, okay? The blue line, the 30-day moving average that is here on the chart, that's a supportish line. So it's still an upwards trend. So is the Dow Jones, okay? As this is, if we look at a daily, it's still an upwards trend, okay? It might not be as aggressive as it was before, but it's still an upwards trend. Now looking at the individual stocks, which stocks were just strong? Bank of America was relatively strong. It was up on the day, and JP Morgan up on the day as well. So those two stocks actually showed some green. Let's see which stocks didn't. Amazon showed some weakness. 174 did retrace from its highs, but keep that in mind that it's relatively just off of its all-time record highs. I mean, so keep that in mind, okay? I don't want to say that the markets are changing and they're going to sell off and we're going to have a bloodbath. This is still developing. Now, looking at Facebook on the bottom of its range, as that has consolidated from $500 to $483. Okay, so we're about 30 points off of our highs. Not a big deal, 30 to 40 points off of our highs for a stock that went over $400. That's amazing. Okay, so it is consolidating in this area, which may mean that we are developing into an atmosphere where it's going to start retracing. Okay, that could be a case. Now, every time we've called a top, it's gone even higher though. So keep that in mind as well. Maybe we're just waiting for the next earnings season to come out. Now, looking at AMD, did retrace as well, okay? And this is an exhaustive move. This is an upside down hammer. If you look at that, and looking at NVIDIA as well, 877, having some problems breaking out higher and maintaining it, so it's just trading sideways for now, but it hasn't proved to us that it's making a turn around. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, off of our highs to 68,000 of 71,000 or 73,000 high, that's about 5,000 points. Again, not a big deal, but I want to keep an eye on it because remember, 68,000 was our resistance-ish level way back when. If we look at a weekly chart, we can see that a little bit clearer. 68,000 was that level. Okay, 64 to 68,000 was that level. So keep that in mind that this is supportish area. So I'd like to see it bounce off of it. If not, then it's going to go lower, and just keep that in mind and be very specific with Bitcoin. You want to be defensive before you're offensive, so keep that in mind as well. This is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.